Hey guys, SpacePigguArt here, and today I am doing something a little bit different. Here I'm just sketching out the outline, and just to the side, to the right side, you can see a quick doodle I did of a mermaid on some uni notes, because I'm a good student. Yeah. So, rather than do like a full pro marker illustration, I wanted to try and do something with my Pentel brush pen a little bit more. So this is kind of what I thought I'd do. The idea is basically, the picture at the side, and I thought it would be fun to do it just in black and white, do something a little bit different. But yeah, here I'm just sketching out the outline, trying to figure out how this is supposed to look. Yeah, I'm doing this in a sketchbook I have that I haven't actually used before, so this is the first piece in it, which is kind of fun. I don't often use sketchbooks for finished pieces, but since I had it and I kind of liked the paper and I wanted to try it out, I figured, why not? But yeah, as you can see, I'm just slowly filling in the details. I already knew what kind of design I wanted for this because I've been sketching it quite a lot, just in biro, and yeah, so I'm just, sketching it. There's not too much to say about this, really. Yeah. Sorry about my hair. It doesn't really get too much in the way, I don't think, but yeah, this is quite detailed, and it happens quite a bit that my head ends up in shot, just because, especially when I'm using the pen, it's quite difficult to focus on the details from further away, especially when you're a little bit blind like I am. But yeah, the hands are also the kind of fin thing, the floaty, fin-looking thing, because hands are difficult, and this was kind of my cop-out way of not drawing them, but with it still looking alright. But yeah, and here's just the hair. Lots of big flowy hair. I wanted to try and give it a bit more, I don't know, I was just trying to make it look a bit more dynamic since it's in the water and that's moving, and this is pretty much the thinnest I get my lines for the whole thing, because I really love this brush pen, but using it is tough. I need to work on it a lot, and I thought this would be a good way to practice, which I think was true. I think this worked pretty well as practice, but yeah, it's all kind of thin and fiddly, and yeah, I feel like my lines could have been better. They could have been a bit more even, they could have been thinner, but all things considered, they're quite smooth, and smooth is good, at least as far as I'm concerned. That's good for now. And I add these little points because I forgot in the sketch, but I had kind of come up with that as an idea and I quite liked it. One thing I did try to do quite a lot here was I tried to keep the movement reasonably, it's hard to explain, but I tried to have like all of the little fin bits going similar ways, and I tried to make it look dynamic, but also like the whole thing was actually moving similarly, and I don't really know how that worked out. I'll have to look at this in a few days and decide whether I think I've actually achieved that, because it's very difficult to do when you're like staring at it so much. It's really hard to really tell if you've achieved what you were aiming for, because it's in your head and it's in and it's on the paper and it's all you're looking at, and I don't know, it's difficult anyway. But yeah, just lining the face, and I don't work in a very logical manner when I'm when I'm lining anything really. It would make sense to just start from the top and work down, but I tend to jump around quite a lot to try and get to points that I feel like are easy, and so that I can like connect lines up, and yeah, it's hard to explain, but often my my way of lining doesn't really make much sense, which is unfortunate because it makes it kind of disjointed to watch, I guess, but yeah, it kind of works out. Like, as you can see, I've left out the hair because I wanted to line the arm first, so that I had that line there. Yeah. Here I'm meticulously trying to keep the black away from all of the other lines so that it doesn't get too muddled, which kind of puts a thin white line in there. Yeah. Yeah, I do that quite a lot just because I don't want all the black to just bleed together, which is obviously going to be a problem when it's all, you know, all just black and white. But yeah, just skip to the end of the hair because my camera stopped recording. But yeah, now I'm doing the little chest piece just because I know that, like, it shouldn't really matter in art if a character is nude, but it does, especially online, and I don't know, I thought this was a fun way to get around it. It wasn't just a total cop-out. Like, it fits with the character. I like it as a design aspect, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Again, you can see my lining making no sense, following no logic. Yeah, filling in a bit more of the hair. Yeah, I do just go around and fill everything in as it makes sense to me. Which might not make sense to everyone, but yeah, that's my process at least. Yeah. More of the hair. Not that interesting to watch. Just a thing that's happening. And here I do the mouth, so my head is in the way and my hand is in the way and the pen is in the way because it's tiny and difficult and fine lines are really hard to do. But yeah. Onto fins I put at her side. I wanted to, like, consider kind of how fish have lots of things. Like, they don't just have the one bit at the end of the tail. Like, they've got like sometimes a bit on their back and sometimes bits on their little sides. There's little flippery bits, I don't know what you call it. And I wanted to, like, do something that had more of the design throughout the character. I guess it makes them look a little less human, which is kind of creepy, but I don't know, I really like the way she looks, so I don't mind that she's kind of creepy. Yeah, just doing the majority of the tail here. It's really hard for me to do, like, good, solid, long lines with this pen, so it's a lot of smaller lines that I try to put together and make look like they're just one long line. I don't know how well that really works, but it's the way I kind of do it just because it's so difficult for me. I don't know. Yeah, and then I skip through the tail because it's a lot of the same, and here you can just see me rubbing out my lines, and then I decided to add a bit more to the background, and you'll just see me filling that in pretty quick. It's all pretty repetitive, honestly. There's not a huge amount to say about this. Just trying to keep the black separate from the black, trying to, yeah, just get it all looking pretty decent, which I think it happened. I quite like the way it looks. It looks kind of different to a lot of the work I've done and that I've shown in the past, just because, I don't know, it's kind of dark and it looks a bit more gothic, I guess? I'm not really sure what you'd call this style, honestly. But yeah, no, I really like how this did end up turning out. And yeah, I'm using a lot of ink here, but I don't have another black ink pen really, although I do use one to finish filling out this bit. But yeah, I'm nearly done now, so yeah, thank you very, very much for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, here's the final picture. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.